Just kidding. This is not an ASMR channel yet. But this is my first dip into the YouTube pond, and I have had this idea for a hike and sketch series where basically I explore the world around me, whether that is in nature or in a cityscape, and I capture what I can on paper. This was a cool covered bridge that I stopped at on the way to the lake that I planned on going to. Very cool, and definitely will have to come back. Now, y'all, when I say this tree grabbed me, okay, it didn't grab me, but like, do you ever just go by something and it stops you in your tracks? Just look at it. So pretty. I will be back to paint her, and I will also come back to this same spot and paint this stone wall. I almost stopped here, but the lighting was just barely too overhead and there just weren't enough shadows for me. So I ended up at the end of part of the lake, and I went out onto this bridge, and the view from the bridge was gorgeous and super colorful. Look at the cattails. And you might be asking yourself, Kaylee, why don't you just stay right where you are, right there, and paint from the bridge? And I will tell you, it is because I was terrified of being stuck on the bridge with the absolute 0 people that I saw while I was at this park. So I chose the next spot, not because of some wise artistic reason, but really just because I'm still terrified of doing my art in public, and I didn't want to be in people's way while creating. So instead, I picked a shady, secluded bench, and I soaked up the view for a few more minutes before getting set up. The cattails were blowing in the breeze, a few birds and frogs were singing in the background, and every once in a while there was a little splash from a fish. So pretty. So, did anyone else as a child go out and lay underneath of trees specifically because you thought you could feel the light beams going through you and healing your body? I just didn't know if I was the only one. Are there any light therapy practitioners out there, if that's even a real thing? But just look at the breeze just blowing the shadows of the leaves across the paper. Just so relaxing, still to this day. So just let me know in the comments if I'm the only one. Maybe I was just too into Pocahontas as a child. Who knows? Okay, so fun fact. I did not bring the right tripod on my hike. Do we quit? Do we give up? No, we just make a shittier version of what we'd already planned on doing. And here's some more B-roll footage of the cattails, because that's about the only videos I got while I was out on this expedition. But you live and learn, and my new motto is live and learn and laugh about it. So that's what I did, and I still enjoyed myself. And the cobra chicken stayed far, far away. So perfect. The watercolors I got were just, something cheap from Hobby Lobby, just something to try it out. And here is, the first layer of what I got down. I'm pretty happy with it. I like the yellows that are popping out. It's definitely a lot more yellow in person when you're there than what is showing in the footage and the pictures. So even though I do think that the colors are a little bit limiting and maybe not the best quality, I do think that I was able to get pretty close to what I was seeing in front of me, which is always a good thing. So yeah, this is the view, and this is what I was able to capture, and I'm pretty happy with it. Just left out the cobra chickens because this is not a horror movie. This is a YouTube channel about art. And oh, you thought I'd be able to come home and explain away my filming failure to my cat Sylvia? No, Sylvia does not care that I am setting up aesthetics for a beautiful home shoot. She carries the weight of the world's judgment on her tiny, tiny legs, and you do not want to disappoint her. Also, if anyone has any tips on how to film in a shared space with 3 cats, let me know. Since I got this sketchbook specifically to try out watercolors, I inked out a little inside cover with the date, and then I tested out my actual pans on the first page. And these are the 2 sketches that I have going right now. The top one is finished. They're both taken from reference photos that I took on a hike in North Carolina. And here is me sharpening pencil number 5 and realizing that I am stalling. I need to get started. Is this brown too warm of a brown? I don't know. Sylvia says it's fine. So we're going to continue using it, and we're going to keep going because now we've started, which is half the battle. So because I did like what happened with that first mushroom, I am going to try to do it again. I'm going to go over the watercolor with colored pencil and see if I can basically make the picture more legible. And I'm going to take a break for just a second and just let you watch this happen. So this is something I asked my Instagram followers, and I'll ask you all too, but what is your opinion on adding black or darker paint to watercolor? Again, I'm still playing around with this medium. I'm not super comfortable with it, so this is just me testing this out. And for the first mushroom that I did, I really liked it, and then I added black to it, which I'll show you. Here's before adding any darkness or black ink, and here's after. Which do you think is better? I like the sharpness of it, but I also feel like that is the point of watercolor, is to not be sharp and to be more flowy and ethereal looking. So did I lose it? Did I mess something up by trying to sharpen the image, or is there a better way to go about it than what I did? Please tell me and give me any of your opinions. I will listen to them all. So this is me thinking, wondering, should I put black into this or not? Should I get some dark paint or not? And of course, Sylvia could not be more relaxed. She has no concern. There's an absolute war happening in my brain about whether or not I need to add this black, but you just keep chilling. I did eventually talk myself out of doing it just for the sake of trying. So I'm going to continue just adding more depth with color instead of using black or any kind of ink whatsoever, and see where it takes me. Is dinner at 6 or 6:30? Or is it 6:15? I just don't know. Well, we all have things to think about, and right here is where I decided that I was going to start pulling back. I wanted to get back to the basics and just start looking at the overall colors and shapes and picking out the things that didn't look right to me. This road didn't look right. It was much too warm. I'm not using a reference photo because my phone has the reference photo and I'm using this to record. So basically, from my memory, I know that that road was more gray than the red tone that I had originally used to map it out. Also, I am not left-handed. As you can see, that is somehow just flipped. All I did was squish down the frame a little bit to edit the height of the video shot, and somehow it magically made me left-handed. So feel free to tell me in the comments how I did that, or just call me an ambidextrous artist, either way. So here is again where I'm starting to put more colors in that make sense visually. I don't know if anybody else knows this, but I think it's pretty cool. Our eyes cannot see the color green for, I think, much more than a mile. So any trees in the distance or mountains or hills, if you notice, they start to slightly become less green as they get further away from you. Ever since I learned that, I've put it into my art practice on anything that I've done, and it's helped a lot with the depth of the picture and making it make more sense. And the white gel pen has arrived, which means Kaylee is gearing down and getting ready to say, we are done with this painting. I decided I did love the water, if nothing else, of this picture, so I wanted to make it at least sparkle a little bit and add a little bit extra to it because I knew what to do there without ruining it, which is less than I can say for the rest of the painting. But again, this is a sketch. This is not a final work. This is a practice piece, so there's no stress. And how could you be stressed when you have a comfort animal like Sylvia? She is there to look, to observe, to purr, to take kisses and hugs and offer support, whether she wants to or not. This was a good test for me so far. I'm trying to decide whether or not I add watercolors to my hiking pack or not for my art hike and sketch journeys. So far, I do like the way they're turning out, and we are not out of the ballpark yet on saying that we might be a watercolor artist in the future. Feel free to roast away in the comments. I know my filming skills are subpar, but if you enjoy the beauty of the outdoors and creating art are things that you're interested in, please stick around. I'm planning on uploading a new video every Monday or Tuesday where we will go on a walk and stretch our physical and our artistic muscles. Thank you for visiting Mountain Glow Art Studio.